Today we're going to show you how to change the water level pressure switch on your washer, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a number 20 Torx bit, a small flat blade screwdriver, and maybe a pair of needle nose pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Now before we begin this repair, the first thing we'll need to do is to disconnect the power to the appliance. Next we're going to need to remove the inlet water hoses. So we'll turn off the water supply to both hot and cold hoses and then remove the hoses from the back of the machine. Next we're going to remove the 4 screws across the top of the console. On this model uses a number 20 Torx screw. So we'll just remove all of those. Next we can just lift up gently on that console, tilt it forward, and on some models you may need to push it to the left to lift it out, but it should just pop out of the main top, and then we can lay it down flat. Now with the control panel laid out flat, we're next going to remove the hose from the end of the pressure switch. It should simply pull off. Then we're next going to remove the wire harnesses. If they appear a bit tight, we'll use our needle nose pliers and just pry those terminals off. Next, with a small flat blade, we're going to lift up on this little locking tab that secures that pressure switch to the control panel. Once we lift it up and disengage the tab on it, we're just going to rotate it counterclockwise, about a quarter of a turn. And we'll remove the knob from the front. Simply pull that straight off, and then we'll remove the old switch. Before we discard the switch, make sure that we did not leave the retaining clip on the shaft of the pressure switch that actually belongs in the knob. Discard the old pressure switch. Now to install the new one, we're simply going to push it into that opening, lining up the 2 tabs with the rectangular hole. Rotate it clockwise until it snaps into position and that little locking tab falls into the little slot. We can next reconnect the wire harnesses. Make sure both are very tight. Next we can reinstall the hose, make sure it's pressed firmly into position. We'll reinstall the knob. And then we're ready to put the control panel back in position. Now to reassemble, we're going to make sure that we line up these 3 tabs in the slotted openings in the main top. Tilt the console back into position, and then we're going to replace the 4 screws. Now we're ready to reconnect the power and the inlet fill hoses, and our repair is complete.